Okay, I have something else for you that we are using our ingredients from our shopping run. $6 a day for 30 days. We're making this work. Check it out. Okay, so we had on our shopping list, we had a 3 pound portion of ground turkey. So I took a pound and a half. Well, no, I actually took a pound. This is a pound I portioned out, and we're going to make, well, some of y'all know it as Hamburger Helper, but this is not Hamburger Helper. But I need your help with naming it because we're going to make our version of it, and it's going to be bigger and better. But with ground turkey and, of course, with love. So let's get started. So, again, this is an onion, one of the onions that I took from our bag of onions, one onion, and I finely minced it. And then I took, remember, we haven't used it in a while, but our block of cheese I actually took and shredded some, and this is about a cup of cheese, of shredded cheese. And then I took our elbow macaroni noodles and cooked half of our box. So this probably ends up being about 2.5, 3 cups of pasta. And then I took one of our cans of the diced tomatoes, no salt, of course. Why? You guys can answer that question or roll back the tape and look at one of the other YouTube videos that I have talking about it. But yes, we're using 1 can of this. And then, of course, our staple pantry seasonings. So I started this too high. We're going to take our olive oil that we have, another staple pantry item, and just a little, because you know with ground turkey, it doesn't produce a lot of fat like your ground beef. And I just wanted to put our onions in and saute them a little bit before I added in our ground turkey. Okay, you know what? I lied to you guys. I apologize. Now that I'm looking at it, I used a half of an onion. I was trying to preserve, because we're going through these onions and celery pretty quickly. So that just shows us that what's important when we're cooking is using the freshest type of items as possible. And with the onions that we bought, along with the sweet potatoes and the white potatoes, those are things that don't always necessarily need to be kept in the refrigerator, and they have a longer shelf life than some other vegetables that are out there. Okay, so we're gonna cook these just a little bit. Now this recipe is pretty simple. I mean, honestly, I've never made their version of Hamburger Helper that I can recall. Maybe when I was young, way back when. But even for our schools that we cater to, our preschools, we make a version like this for them that I believe they enjoy. We haven't had any complaints that I know of. So this is going to be something that is filling, very filling, and stretches too. So we're going to put in our ground turkey, and these noodles I actually cooked ahead of time, as you all can see. And this is going to be something simple. You may not have all the energy once you have done your daily activities, or this is something that you can actually meal prep ahead of time, make in bulk. We're going to add in some of our garlic seasoning, as well as our black pepper and a little bit of salt. And a little bit more. Okay. I need to probably convert that down to a salt shaker or something where I don't accidentally pour too much. Let's put our flame a little bit lower. Now, the only thing that's missing from this entree, honestly, is going to be, well, you tell me. I'm going to give you a minute in the comments. So your task is to create a name for this, and then also tell me, out of this entree that we're preparing, What is one thing that is really missing to make it a complete meal that is full of our daily nutritional items? Okay, I'm waiting. You're probably thinking, well, what is she talking about? Well, keep thinking, because it's very important. Right. We don't have any greens. Nothing green is in here. That's super important. So what could we do to add to this to make it a complete meal as well? Well, we still have some kale left over. We still have some spinach. We might have some spinach we could saute. But we also have frozen vegetables left that we could just prepare on the side. There's nothing wrong with having, I think that's what we should do. Make some like sweet peas that we have some that are left, the frozen peas. We also have some green beans we can put on the side, but you just want to make sure that you have a complete meal that is inclusive of some vegetable. So a salad would go well with this as well. So we're just going to cook all this down. Very simple. And once this is cooked down, then we're going to add in our the remaining 3 ingredients. Very simple. And depending on how you like yours, I like mine, I mean, I could eat it just out of here, just like this, or you could pop it in the oven afterwards and kind of get a little crispy topping on top. Your choice, personal preference, as I always say when you're cooking. Okay. Again, we want to make sure that do we know the internal temperature for this ground turkey? Same as a chicken. So 165 degrees if you are concerned, but you should not see any more pink in here once it's all done. But it smells very good. You know, I don't like unseasoned food, so I'm going to add in just a little bit more garlic. And even though we have fresh onions in here, we have this as our pantry item, so we're going to add in just a little bit more. This is onion powder. Okay. And again, you know, some people just don't know, which is okay. I've had a couple people here at Arx Catering while they're cooking. I catch it at the last minute, but they want to add seasoning after this is cooked. No, you cook with seasoning. So that's why we're adding the seasoning before it gets to the cooked state, because we want it to cook all in to the meat and make it flavorful. So, all right. I think we are good to go here. And again, remember, $6 a day for 30 days. And the Snap Challenge. If you're just jumping on board, watching this first YouTube, roll back the tape, look at some other previous YouTube episodes where I talk about the challenge of feeding either yourself or your family on $6 per person per day. $6 per person per day for 30 days. And we're trying to make this work. Okay, so $6 a day for 30 days. So this is the challenge that I'm trying to show you all is for one person. So just imagine if we had a family of 4, a mom and dad and 2 kids, or whatever the breakdown is. That's 6. So if there are 4 people, you have $24 a day to spend on breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 people. I mean, really? Do you think you can do that? I mean, I think about the times that I actually go out to eat, or if I happen to go by Chick-fil-A or any of these other fast food places, you cannot get out of that place without spending at least, $15? That's on the value or a meal. I don't know. I don't know what McDonald's costs because I haven't been there in years. But Chick-fil-A, I mean, heck, I'm going, and a lot of times I'm getting one of their salads, and then I am getting like the market chicken salad, and then I cheat sometimes and do like a kid's meal. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I actually spend about close to $20. And yeah, I don't even know how they think people can eat off of $6 a day. I mean, healthy. And this is why I'm showing you different options that are healthy. The reason why I, for example, selected to use ground turkey as part of our shopping run is because it's something that's going to stretch, because we could take this too, depending on some of the other ingredients. We could do tacos, we could do spaghetti sauce with ground turkey, we could do chili, and maybe some other things too. But this is something that's going to stretch and it's filling. But why ground turkey versus ground beef? Glad you asked. Well, chicken in general is a leaner meat, less fat. And that's why I decided to do the ground turkey, because it's in the poultry family and you have less fat. So how do you go about selecting which? Because I was in the store trying to figure out, do I want ground beef because I like it too and it gives you some variety? Or should we stick with the ground turkey for the reasons I already stated? But then once you pick whatever your protein, how do you select which one? Is it the 80-20 one? Is it the 93-7%? And as you all know, and if you don't, it's okay. 93% is lean, and then that 7% or that lower number is typically the amount of the percentage of fat. So our goal is to have the least amount of fat in our selection. So this particular ground turkey, I selected was a 93.7. So there are other options out there, and the same with the ground beef. But look at how the price correlates to the amount of fat. So if you look at ground beef, for example, the 80-20, if I recall correctly, it was like 7 something per pound. But then if you go to the 90-10, then it was $8 a pound. It was a lot more expensive. So keep that in mind when we're looking at selecting our items. All right, so we have this done. We're going to put in our tomatoes. Mix that in. We're going to put in our pasta, as well. And we're going to add in our cheese. Okay, this is something that is going to be, like I said, filling, and kids love it too. I mean, heck, I love it in moderation. So you have takes you back to your old school days of eating what we said we're not going to say. We're going to rename this. This could use a little bit more, it's okay, of the pasta. I mean, not the pasta, of the tomato, but that's why we're going to add in the cheese. Because it's looking kind of dry right now. So let's add in this cheese. Jazz it up. And it's going to melt down nicely. This looks like it needs some more pepper, some seasoning. Okay. Now, if we had an extra, I think the next shopping month that I shop, I'm going to get some more tomato, like canned tomatoes, paste, canned sauce, and be able to utilize that with our recipes. Okay. So there we have it. I mean, it's very simple once we get the ground turkey all cooked down. You know what? I think I know this is not the traditional hamburger helper or turkey assistant. I just thought of that right now, but that's not going to be the name. I really think that we should add in, I know it's going to use up our fresh spinach produce, but I'm going to add it because this is kind of like I don't know. What do you all think? I mean, I could eat this right now. We probably could use some of our other ingredients, staple seasonings that we have. Paprika. This is going to be great to add. And then our chili powder for a little bit of just a jazz it up, season it up. Just a little bit of the chili powder. And then a little bit more cheese. So a total of about 2 cups of shredded cheddar. And I also said, let me just go ahead and add a little kale salad on. We'll start our plate and get it ready. So again, for this, the portion size was going to be for entree 5 to 6 ounces. So I'll portion this out, but we probably have at least 5 or 6 portions here that we can actually eat and serve throughout the month. So that was pretty simple. You can garnish and taste to your liking with more salt or pepper. And here's another option. I hope you enjoy. Let's keep this challenge going. It is a challenge, trust me, because working with limited resources, $6 a day for 30 days, you do the math. But we're making it work. So I hope some of these recipes you'll enjoy and it's helpful for someone out there. All right, until the next time.